Hey guys, today we'll be taking a look at 4 different premium open back headphones and comparing them against each other. Actually 3 premium open back headphones that I just got, and I'll be comparing them with my current Beyerdynamic T1.2 open back headphones. That's my current one. So yeah, total of 4, but 3 that are new, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to go through each headphone and talk a little bit about each one. And I'm going to start off with the current one that I have is the Beyerdynamic T1s, which comes in this rather large case. So yeah, Beyerdynamic is a German company. They've been making headphones for decades. I think since the 1920s and 1930s is when they started. But yeah, this is their flagship open back headphone from a few years ago. Their current flagship is the T1 third generations, but I'm not very interested in those ones because they changed the sound signature so much. So these are the second generations, and I actually have them with a balanced cable. Originally they come with an unbalanced 3.5 millimeter connector and cable, but I changed them to a balanced cable that uses a 4.4 balanced connector. So yeah, that's just to give it more power, and the reason for that is because these headphones are very hard to drive. They're 600 ohm headphones. So Beyerdynamic is actually well known for making some of the highest impedance headphones on the market. So 600 ohm headphones, yeah, usually pretty hard to drive. You won't be driving this with your smartphone, or even USB DACs and dongles will have trouble with these. So yeah, these are 600 ohm headphones, very hard to drive. That's why I switched out the cable to a balanced connector. There's a 4.4 millimeter balanced connector, and that way I can connect it to a lot of headphone amps that have more power on the balanced output. So yeah, Beyerdynamic, like I said, a very storied German company. They've been making headphones for a long time, very high quality usually, and this was their flagship a couple of years ago. And I think in general, I compared this to the DT1 990 Pros before, which is their other high-end studio headphone, and it was a pretty tough comparison actually. Both of them are pretty good headphones. So the T1s versus the DT1 990 Pros, I have another video on that. I ended up picking the T1s because these ones I like the mid-range just a little bit better. So generally, if it's higher impedance, that changes the dampening factor, and it means you can wind more turns of wire around the voice coil or something like that. I don't know the technicalities, but higher impedance headphones generally are considered like better sounding. Otherwise, why would they have higher impedance headphones, right? Like higher impedance is generally disadvantaged to drive. So the only reason they have higher impedance headphones is maybe because they must sound a bit better. There must be some advantage to it, right? Otherwise people wouldn't make them. So yeah, these days you are seeing more and more headphone manufacturers making lower impedance headphones compared to before, just to make it easier to drive with smartphones and stuff like that, which is kind of a shame because higher impedance headphones are a kind of interesting sound, right? And they're kind of dying out. You're not seeing too many high impedance headphones anymore. Just some from Sennheiser and Beyerdynamic, and then some of the planar magnetics are hard to drive as well, but they're not necessarily high impedance. Yeah, planar mags are just a different beast. So anyways, yeah, very nicely built, designed headphones, made in Germany, of course, just like with the other higher end Beyerdynamic headphones. So yeah, I kept this one because I did a comparison against other open backs, and I found that this one beat out the Focal Elex in the DT1 980 Pros. This was originally retailed for $1,000 MSRP, but yeah, I mean, this was the flagship for Beyerdynamic a couple of years ago, right? But I got this used for $450 US, so huge savings for me. It was over 50% discount, so I had to pick it up, and yeah, loved it. So anyways, the Beyerdynamic T1s are my current open back headphones. They need a lot of power to drive, but they're very comfortable, and I really do like the sound signature of these. So I'll be comparing this with all these newer open back headphones that we're going to take a look at now. Alright, so I'm going to go left to right here, and I have all the original boxes for these, which is nice because with my closed back headphones comparison video, I didn't have the boxes for any of those. Alright, so first up is the Hifiman Arya, and this is the Stealth edition, which is actually not the latest edition. They have a newer version out now called the Arya Organic, but keep in mind I bought all these secondhand because I'm not willing to pay like over $1,000 for any headphone. This originally retailed for $1,500 US. I got this for 600 bucks. So yeah, a bit more about this company, Hifiman. So around audiophile circles, they're fairly well known. For mainstream consumers, maybe not so much, but Hifiman is known as, they're a Chinese company that have been involved in pioneering planar magnetic technology for headphones. So Dan Clark Audio, Hifiman, Audeze, and Meze now, these are the 4 companies I would consider to be most well known for their planar magnetic headphones. And yeah, Hifiman really was one of the pioneers. I think Hifiman and Audeze, especially, these 2 companies really started back in the day with their planar magnetic designs. And they actually started off making, I believe, DAPs, digital audio players, first off. And then they made amplifiers, and then eventually they went to planar magnetic headphones, which is what they're most well known for now. This is not their highest end headphone. They also have the HE1000, and then their really high-end Sasvaras, which I've actually tried before in Japan. And yeah, this is, I didn't try this headphone before. I just saw this around the price range that I was expecting to compare these headphones at, and I just thought, okay, let's give it a go. Let's see how good these are, because, you know, originally the retail price is over $1,000, so they're fairly high end, I would say. Not the highest end, but they're fairly high end, and I just want to try different open backs, compare them to my Beyerdynamic T1s, which I've had for a while, and see how they stack up. So yeah, these ones use the new stealth magnet design, which Hifiman says, you know, improves on the detail or clarity or whatever. Some technology has been improved. Specifications of these headphones. So 32 ohms. Do not be fooled by the impedance of these headphones, by the way. That's why I say to people, don't just look at impedance. That doesn't actually tell you how hard it is to drive. Planar magnetic headphones are, I would say they're misleadingly low impedance, but these actually do require a lot of power to drive, despite the fact that it's only 32 ohms. You do need a lot of power to drive these. So don't be fooled by that low impedance number. You can drive these with smartphones, but they're not going to sound that great. So yeah, Hifiman, you have inside the box here, pretty plain looking package actually. You have 12 months warranty from Hifiman, and you get cables inside of here. So these headphones use the 3.5 millimeter connectors and come with a 6.35 millimeter terminator. Okay, that's pretty common actually. The 3.5 millimeter connector is used by a lot of other headphone makers, like Focal, for example, which we'll actually look at in a bit. But yeah, 6.35, that's your single-ended connector. For a lot of desktop headphone amps use that bigger connector. If you want to connect it to a 3.5 millimeter, which is more common, you'll need an adapter. So yeah, these are the headphones. They're planar magnetic, so different than your standard dynamic driver. If you don't know the difference, basically with dynamic driver, like the Beyerdynamics, for example, it's a voice coil, and as sound gets played, you know, this coil, this driver, just kind of moves the air, right? So it's very much just like a speaker. I mean, a headphone is, dynamic headphone is really just like a speaker, just like a very tiny speaker. So yeah, the speaker just kind of vibrates, and that, you know, moves the air, which produces sound. Planar magnetic technology is a newer technology. It's more complicated. Basically, they're suspending a very thin film, I think, that's excited by different magnets placed around it, and that vibrates to produce sound. But you guys can look it up online. It's a bit more complex than dynamic drivers. But anyways, this is Hifiman's Stealth magnet, I guess, which is one of their newer planar magnetic designs. So originally they had the Arya, and then there's a second version, Arya Stealth, and now they have a third version, Arya Organic, which is uses a newer driver than this. But yeah, they look very big and imposing. I mean, these definitely look like audiophile headphones. If you show people, what does an audiophile headphone look like? This is one of the pictures that might come up. I mean, it just looks heavy duty. In terms of the build quality, yeah, people have said that Hifiman's build quality is not up to par with the prices that they charge. So yeah, I think you'll kind of see that. Kind of similar to Grado's in that case, right? Grado's, I feel like, is similar because their build quality isn't that great, but it's really just about the sound for the Grado's, and the same thing with Hifiman's. It's really just about the sound. The actual appearance looks very industrial looking. It doesn't, yeah, I mean, I guess some people might find it good looking, but to me it just looks industrial, right? It's not meant for like a piece of like art or something like that. It's just meant, it's kind of the thing that form follows the function, I guess. So the function comes first, right, for these headphones, which is to sound great. And the form just kind of is an afterthought. It just kind of follows, you know, whatever driver that they made. They just made this, yeah, basically this is what came out of that driver design, right? The design that came out of it. So, you know, Hifiman is not trying to win any appearance awards here. They're just trying to make the design that follows the sound, basically, and this is the planar magnetic driver design. In terms of the comfort, I think these pads are pretty comfortable. They have leather actually on this side, but then this side is more like softer felt. And then the headband, yeah, it's very basic headband here. It's like kind of this, like, don't think it's leather, but it's almost like a leather-like type of texture. Could be vinyl as well, just that kind of texture, and then very stiff feeling headband. So yeah, once you feel it, it doesn't feel like a $1,500 headphone at all. It feels like cheaper than that, and a lot of people have said that about Hifiman. They don't feel like a headphone, like the prices that they charge. But you know, if for people who only care about sound quality, it doesn't matter as much, right? The sound quality is what's important, not so much the comfort or design. Maybe that's secondary to some people. And that's really it. They really just keep it to the bare minimum here. They just give you the cables and the headphone, and that's it. No case or anything. Yeah, nothing else. For Hifiman, it's just about the sound. That comes first and foremost. Forgot to mention that the box for the Aryas, there is a foam headphone stand actually that you can use. This foam part just comes out, and yeah, you can just put it out like here, and then you basically have a headphone stand, which is pretty cool, right? Comes with a built-in headphone stand essentially as part of the box. So it's cool that Hifiman did that. So anyways, that's a Hifiman Aryas. Then we're going to take a look at sort of the opposite from Hifiman in terms of what I said, right? This company is Meze Audio. They're from Romania, and they're not like a new company or anything, but I would say that they've definitely been getting more and more traction over the years because, I mean, a lot of YouTubers, influencers have been talking about Meze, and that's more like... Part of it is the sound, of course. You have to produce headphones with good sound quality. But a lot of it is also due to the appearance of their products as well. I mean, just look at this box. I mean, compared to the Hifiman, it's almost the opposite of Hifiman, right? Hifiman is just like a simple cardboard box. Like, they don't even bother putting like the design of the headphone over the complete package. It's almost just like a standard cardboard box, and then they pasted just like the sticker over it. That's it. They don't even cover the entire box. So Hifiman obviously doesn't care too much about the presentation of their products. Meze is like the opposite. Just look at this box. It's like this nice, beautiful Aztec design. 109 Pro, that's the model of these headphones. So Meze is probably the best known for their 99 Classics, which is they're affordable. They're like $300 headphones, nice wooden finish, and that got a lot of people into Meze. They also had the very high-end products, and as I said, Meze is one of those companies that is well known for their planar magnetic headphones as well. So they're higher-end stuff like the Empyrean and the Elite. And I actually had the chance to try out the Elite in Japan, and I actually did like that pair of headphones. So Meze does produce nice sounding headphones and really beautiful looking headphones as well. So, and you can say that opposite of Hifiman, they actually do care about the appearance and presentation of their products. So very beautiful box here, designed and made in Romania. I don't know many other products that are designed and made in Romania, but this is interesting, right? You don't see much in the West, right? In Canada and US, we definitely don't see that many products come from Romania. So it's kind of exotic. And yeah, what we get here is a small little nice leather pouch full of goodies here. And they give us a 3.5 millimeter adapter here. Not 3.5, 6.35 millimeter adapter from 3.5. And this is a standard connector. I'm not sure if these are actually proprietary connectors. I don't think these are 3.5 connectors. These are proprietary to Meze. And then it ends in a 3.5. So this can connect to any smartphone or just any typical device that has a 3.5, which is much more common compared to the 6.35. But of course, you can add the 6.35 as well. Then you also get, there's another connector here. Is this also a 3.5? I guess is another 3.5. So there's like an extra cable here for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe this guy who I bought it from included that. Oh, this is another 6.35 millimeter adapter. So I think these are some extras that the guy I bought it from. Oh, another one. Okay. Yeah, so I got this secondhand, of course. So the retail price for these were $800 US, and I got them for $700. So I didn't save too much money on these, but I just really wanted to try them because I've never tried or unboxed a Meze before. This is actually the first time I've done an unboxing and review of a Meze product on my channel. So I've just always wanted to try a Meze product. So yeah, I didn't save too much money, just $100 difference. But yeah, originally these retail for $800, and I got it secondhand, pretty good condition still, right? And whoever owned it, I guess, included extra pairs of 6.35 millimeter adapters here, and he included, or whoever, he or she included multiple pairs of cables here that are actually the same cable. They're just, yeah, they're both terminated in 3.5 millimeters, so I don't know why I need two. I don't know why they had to, but anyways, that was the goodies that were included. That's all in the box here. And then you get this really nice, beautiful case too. Again, something that Hifiman did not bother with. Meze gave us a really beautiful, nice case. I mean, yeah, look at the logo here. It looks like a Lamborghini logo, or, you know, a Maserati logo or whatever. So, looks very luxury and premium. Open up the case, and these headphones. Okay, you ready for this? These look amazing. Okay, here you go. These are the Meze 109 Pros, and wow, they look stunning, right? Nice, beautiful wooden ear cups here. I think this is black walnut. That's actually harvested from Romania. You got these nice gold copper, actually copper accents here on the headphone. And yeah, just overall, the design of these are stunning. They're open back headphones, as you can see. Yeah, I just love the design of these headphones, these Meze 109 Pros. Basically the opposite of the Hifiman Aryas in terms of the in terms of the design, right? You can tell just how opposite they are. Hifiman is like, oh, it's all about the driver, it's all about the sound, and the design is secondary, and they don't give you a case. With Meze's, it's like the design is I wouldn't say the design comes first before the sound, but it definitely takes higher precedence compared to other companies, I would say. So Meze puts a lot of importance on the design and looks of their products. So they look just stunning, right? Very luxury feeling. Yeah, even like this headband here, right? It stretches and adapts like this. They have like a two-tiered headband going on here, just like with Audio Technicas sometimes. Some of the Audio Technicas lower end, and AKGs, some AKGs do that too. They have they kind of double headband design like this, but it seems very comfortable. Yeah, I love the walnut finish here. I think this is real walnut, it's not a veneer or anything. I believe they have a newer version out now where it's actually kind of very handcrafted, where like someone actually put like ridges in each of these. Yeah, so there's a newer version of the 109 Pros that's more limited and more expensive, where it looks more like a piece of art. And then, yeah, even the drivers, look at this. Beautiful drivers right here. Even the drivers, they put like this copper, yeah, this kind of like copper grill over it, I guess. And these are dynamic headphones, they're not plain or magnetic. But yeah, even the design of the drivers, they put a little bit of luxury touch over it, which is really nice. So yeah, very beautiful looking headphones. Nice plush velour or felt pads, feel very, very comfortable. And can't wait to try these ones out. I've always wanted to try out and kind of do a review of a Meze product on my channel. I just never really had the chance, and this is going to be my first review of a Meze product on my channel, and man, these look amazing. So this is why Meze products, they don't usually sell for much less. So these retail for $800, and $700 is really the cheapest that you can find it. You can't really find it cheaper than that, just because I think people know like these headphones both look nice and sound nice, so they're not going to sell them for much cheaper than that. Hard to find them like at a discount. All right, last but not least, we have kind of a giant of the headphone industry, and that's Focal. So Focal is a French company. They've been making traditionally loudspeakers. So they're actually, I'm not sure if they're more known for loudspeakers or headphones at this point, maybe equally known for both. But they originally started out making just speakers, loudspeakers, and they're very well known for that. They have a lot of award-winning, well-reviewed loudspeakers, and then they got into the headphone business, I think roughly over a decade ago. So I would say they're like maybe relatively new in the headphone industry, but now they become a huge player in the headphone industry. So a lot of people have respected Focal's headphones. I've owned and reviewed a lot of Focal headphones myself. So I think I started out with the Alirs back in 2020, which were pretty nice headphones for the price. So I started out with the Focal Alirs, and then I tried out the Elexes, which are also pretty nice headphones. That's the collaboration they did with Massdrop. And then I had the Allegias, which are closed back headphones. And now we come to the Clears. So the Clears are probably the headphone they're most well known for. But these are the Clear MGs, which are the successor to the Clear OGs. The OG Clears, I think, got so much good press, good review, good publicity. And I think a lot of people use the original Focal Clear OGs as kind of the benchmark headphone for a lot of applications. They're considered very referenced, very balanced and neutral sounding. And in my experience, Focal and Sennheiser, these are the two companies that are very well known for having very neutral, balanced headphones across their lineup. So Focal especially focuses on having a balanced tuning, like a very neutral, balanced tuning with a lot of detail. So I guess that's what the Clears should be like as well. These are their most famous headphones in general, right? The Clears are, they make the higher end headphones, right? Like the Utopias are their highest end headphones, which I actually had the chance to try in Japan, the Focal Utopia 2022s. Very, very detailed mid-range on those headphones. But yeah, it's interesting. I'll be very curious to try out the Clear MGs because I haven't tried the Clear MGs before. So this is a pretty big box. And this originally retailed for $1,500 US. I got these for $1,000. So decent amount of savings, I guess. Considering that they're in like basically like new condition. And yeah, Focal usually gives you a case, and in this case, it's what Focal uses for all their cases actually, because all their headphones have a very similar design. So they generally use this kind of shape. It's almost like a handbag, right? And they use this shape for a lot of their headphones. What else do we get in the box actually? We get this. Nice presentation, by the way, Focal. Not quite as, I mean, Meze is just more about like luxury feeling, luxury looking and stuff, but Clear just keeps it professional with their presentation. And they give you additional ear pads here too. Well, look at this. They give you additional ear pads here. So these are perforated. I guess some people call this fenestrated. Yeah, that's right, fenestrated. But yeah, these are alternative ear pads which actually do change the sound a bit. So if you switch out ear pads on headphones, by the way, they do change up the sound a little bit. Interestingly enough, they give you a user manual, which is, that's funny because these are not wireless headphones. They're not Bluetooth headphones. These are just standard wired headphones. So I don't know what would be so complicated to require a manual. I mean, wired headphones are pretty simple, right? You just plug it in. Plug and play, literally, right? Just plug and listen. And they give you a set of cables with a 6.35 millimeter terminator. And as I said, with the Hifimans, the Focals also include the 3.5 millimeter connectors. So pretty standard connectors. That means it's pretty easy to find aftermarket cables for these. If you want to get a balanced connection for these, then it shouldn't be hard to find, because 3.5 millimeter connectors fairly common in the headphone industry, and it should be easy to find like an aftermarket balanced connector for this. But anyways, it's cool that they include 6.35 here, which probably means that they come with a 3.5 millimeter, I'm guessing. All right, so that's what you get. Not a lot of nice extras actually. I don't think any of these other headphones came with extra ear pads. Actually, the Beyerdynamics did come with extra ear pads with their DT1990 Pros. But with the T1s, I didn't get extra ear pads with those. But I think they may have come with originally come with extra ear pads. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's cool that they give you extra ear pads. It's cool that they give you extra set of cables. So now let's look at the case. And it's also cool that they give you a case too, because you know Hifiman doesn't even give you that for 1,500 originally. They don't even give you a case. Come on. So yeah, Hifiman just gives you like the bare basics. Focal gives you all this in a case, and here are the headphones. And yeah, they look besides the color, they don't actually look that different from the Focal Clear OGs, or pretty much all of Focal's headphones have a pretty similar design. So they don't actually look all that different from other Focal headphones. Just the red color is what kind of gives it away as a clear MG. The OGs actually had a more beige, gray colored, I guess, type of felt and headband. So the color change is what most people would notice as the difference here, just superficially, right? The clear MGs have like a red ear pad and headband, and the clear OGs, they have a white and gray ear pad and headband. So that's like the main way to tell from a distance. Otherwise, the design is pretty similar to other clear headphones and other Focal headphones, actually. They all have a very similar type of designs. Focal's been pretty consistent on their design. That's also why they use similar cases for all their headphones too. Yeah, this being an open back. So yeah, you can tell this is open back. This is clear professional, Fabrique en France, means made in France, aluminum magnesium. So in general, Focal headphones are all really nicely designed, use good materials and everything, very high-end feeling. Just like with Beyerdynamics, I find they have a little bit of an industrial feel to them. So pretty nice. Overall, very solid. These are the adjusters. The pads are pretty nice, soft, supple feeling. Yeah, I find like Focal headphones, they're comfortable. They're not the most comfortable though. Like, I would still say Dan Clark Audio's, Beyerdynamics, and Audio Technica's in general are probably more comfortable, but they got a decent amount of comfort. You can definitely wear them for like an hour or two and not feel any issues. And they also give you another 6.35 millimeter kind of adapter here, and here was the 3.5 millimeters. So yeah, they give you two cables, one of which just always terminates in a 6.35, and then this one always in a 3.5 millimeter, which is more common. And they also give you an adapter in case you want to convert that to a 6.35. So again, very generous on the extras here by Focal. Yeah, what else can I say? Focal headphones are pretty much they're ubiquitous among the audiophile industry now, because I'm pretty sure most audiophiles have heard of Focal by now. They're up with Sennheiser in terms of the prestige level of reference level headphones. So if you're looking for headphones with neutral-ish tuning, very detailed, then that's pretty much Focal for you. So yeah, I would say that their stature kind of rivals that of Sennheiser now in the audiophile headphone industry. Pretty high up there. So can't wait to try these too. So I just want to make a correction. I called these the Clear MGs, but they're not the Clear MGs, they're actually the Clear Professionals. So these ones are actually a little bit more higher end compared to the Clear MGs. So the Clear MGs also a different color, they're brown colored, and the Clear Professionals are obviously red colored. So I just want to make that correction. These are not the Clear MGs, they're the Professionals, they have a different tuning, and yeah, I believe they're actually a bit higher end as well. So yeah, just want to make myself clear. I've tried a lot of Focal headphones before in the past. Personally, I haven't really preferred their neutral sound signature, but we'll see. I agree that they're, in general, they're well built and they're good sounding headphones with a lot of detail. And this goes all the way up to their highest end Utopias. But just something about the sound signature doesn't sound, you know, as fun, I guess. But we'll see. Maybe the Clears might change my mind. Anyways. These are the four headphones I'll be comparing in this video. So the Focal Clear MGs, the Meze 109 Pros, the Hifiman Arya Stealth, and the Beyerdynamic T1 second generations. So yeah, let's see which headphone wins this battle. And I'll be giving you guys my personal impressions, and then I'll just be doing a sound test after, so maybe you guys can hear a difference between them. So yeah, these are the four headphones I'll be testing in this video. The Focal Clear MGs, the Meze 109 Pros, the Hifiman Arya Stealth, and the Beyerdynamic T1 second generations. And yeah, I'll give you guys my impressions of them, and then I'll have a sound test after, so maybe you guys can hear the differences and let me know what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to look at other open back headphones in this video. Probably the most expensive one out of here is a tie between the Hifiman Arya and the Focal Clear, because they were both $1,500 originally. But yeah, it will be interesting to see which one I prefer the best, because sound is so subjective, right? So yeah, that's it, guys. Stay tuned for my impressions. Okay, one question some of you guys may be wondering, where is the Audeze LCD-X in this comparison video? That's a headphone that's pretty popular, around the same price range, also open back. So the reason is because, well, one thing is I'm not rich, so these are all headphones I'm buying, and then the ones I don't like, basically I just have to sell it or return it. So I can't just keep buying, you know, all the headphones out there. So I do have a limit to my spending. That's one thing. Another thing is the main reason actually is because I'm not like a huge fan of Audeze. I've used their headphones before in the past. I've used their Audeze EL8s, I had those before, and the Audeze LCD1s, which I've tried before, and the LCD2s actually, which I tried in a headphone shop before. I didn't really like any of them. Found the LCD2s way too warm for my liking, and I even tried their super high-end Audeze CRB and electrostatics when I was in Japan. Didn't really like those either. So yeah, my experience with Audeze has not been that great. I mean, I know that a lot of people like Audeze and there's house sound or sound signature or whatever, but yeah, generally I have not been too impressed with a lot of Audeze products, especially for their price points. So yeah, that's why the LCD-X isn't in here. Just my personal preference. I'm not like a huge fan of Audeze, and I have used a lot of their products before, just never really been impressed with any of them. But yeah, if you guys are looking for Audeze LCD-X comparison, there's a lot of other video reviews out there on YouTube doing that. If you're looking for clears versus like the focal clears versus Audeze LCD-X, lots of comparison videos already out there, so I don't really need to do that. And I heard that for the LCD-X, you really need to EQ it for it to actually sound decent, which is not something I usually do for any of my headphones. I don't EQ stuff. I just want to be able to hear naturally what the headphone sounds like. Because you know, you can EQ any headphone to get to sound the way you want, but then why not just buy a headphone that you're happy with to begin with, right? Yeah, so I don't want to do any EQing. I already know I'm not going to like the Audeze LCD-X because I've not been satisfied with any of their previous headphones before, and yeah, I just read online you need to EQ it to be able to sound decent anyways, so yeah, plus it's expensive, so that's why I don't have it for this video. Speaking of which, I also don't really like Grados either, so one thing I guess some other people might be asking on my channel is why have you never reviewed Grado headphones? I have tried Grado headphones before, the high-end ones like the GS1000s. Not really for me. I don't really like the sound signature. I guess people who have tried Grados know they have a very particular sound signature. Don't really like them. I think I feel the same way about Audeze LCD2 or LCD3s. Yeah, just the sound signature never clicked with me. Yeah, it's just not for me, I guess. And plus, it's uncomfortable, just like the Audeze. The Audeze headphones have always been pretty uncomfortable for me. So same thing with Grados. They're not comfortable to wear. Also don't really like the cheap feeling construction either. So yeah, even though they're made in the US and stuff, it doesn't feel like it's well made. So anyways, just my little rant about Audeze and Grados. That's why they're not in this video. Alright, so now I'll be testing out these headphones, and the way I'll be doing that is by using the FiO K7 amplifier. So this is a headphone amplifier and DAC, and for $200 it's a pretty good value. It has a pretty decent DAC inside of it. It uses dual AKM AK4493 DACs inside of it, so those are fairly high-end DACs. And the headphone amp is pretty decent too, because it uses a THX AAA amplifier. In my experience with THX amplifier technology, goes back to the Massdrop THX 789 amplifier, which I used before, which is a very neutral, high-powered amplifier. So my experience with THX amplifier technology is that they have very low distortion and a fairly neutral sound signature, which is really good for testing reference purposes, right? And yeah, that headphone amplifier is well received by a lot of people who use it for reference. So anyways, this should be pretty good. The headphone amplifier can actually output up to, I believe, 560 milliwatts on the balanced. So I'll be using balanced connections whenever possible, actually, because actually the ones that require a lot of power, like the Beyerdynamics and the Hifiman, I'll definitely be using the balanced output because these require more power to drive. And yeah, they have like switchable gain settings. I'll be using high gain, and of course I'll be using the line input because my music source is actually going to be my Hibi RS6 DAP. This is actually fairly expensive DAP. It's a $1,200 DAP, and I have all my music stored on here, but I'll actually be bypassing it in favor of the amplifier from the FiO K7s, which is more powerful. So yeah, that's how I'll be listening to my music, and without further ado, and start testing the headphones now. Okay, so first up is the Beyerdynamic T1 second generations. Just gonna this is kind of like a benchmark because I have these headphones currently, so I'll be comparing this against these other 3 headphones, which are newer. Haven't really heard these other headphones, but this one I'm kind of used to the sound signature already. Just want to refresh myself with it and use it as kind of a baseline to compare to. So yeah, these headphones are 600 ohm impedance, so I do have a balanced connector for them. It needs to be balanced in order to output that much power to drive it. And yeah, I'm gonna test it out with some music, and I'll be using the same tracks for each of them so that we have the same kind of reference tracks for each. So yeah, let's test it out. Alright, nice. Alright, so yeah, the Beyerdynamic T1 second generations just kind of reminds me of why I kept this headphone out of all the other open backs I tested. It's a really nice pair of headphones. So if you drive them properly, right? So if you have enough power to drive them, right? So you need a desktop amp or a DAP to drive these, especially using balanced cables. But if you drive them properly, they're a really nice pair of headphones. They're warm sounding for sure. Definitely on the warm side, so the trebles are rolled off a little bit. But the bass is okay. There's like a decent amount of bass. It's not recessed, but it's not pushed up either. The mids are really nice. I really like the detailed mids on these. And the sound stage is pretty good too. Not the biggest sound stage, but it's definitely present. And I like the detailed mids. And the bass is okay too. It's not like great bass, but it's definitely something you can still feel it. So yeah, and it rolled off trebles. So it's an interesting sound signature. Yeah, I think generally this works well for most types of music for me. It's just that it has a warm sound signature. So those of you who are used to Beyerdynamic headphones being bright, these ones are not really bright. They're actually warm, a little bit darker sounding actually. So yeah, I think it's not what most people expect from Beyerdynamic headphones. Most people say Beyerdynamic headphones are too bright. These ones are actually on the dark side and the warm side. So anyways, I do like these headphones. So as long as you drive them properly, they're really nice. Decent soundstage, you know, decent bass, good mids. I like the mids on those, and the trebles are okay too. They're just a bit rolled off. Hey, I just want to mention something about the Beyerdynamic T1s. So this is a very divisive headphone, and the more I listen to it, the more I understand why it's so divisive. So at the beginning, when I first heard this headphone, I was like, oh, okay, it's very comfortable, and I really do like the warm organic mids on here, and the sound stage is pretty decent. And yeah, overall at the beginning, you know, when I didn't test out as many headphones, I really liked this headphone, but then as I get more and more into headphones and test more and more of them out, I understand why this headphone is so divisive, especially among audiophiles. So the issue with this headphone is that it's almost too warm. It's almost like the LCD2s, like the Audeze LCD2s, is that almost as warm. That one's actually even warmer. But yeah, I don't like too dark sounding, too warm. This one is definitely on the very warm side, but at the same time, it's also bright. And a lot of Beyerdynamic headphones are bright. This one is somehow also bright at the same time. Like it's very harsh and sibilant on the highs. So whenever you listen to, whenever you listen to vocals with a lot of S's in it, you'll definitely hear that little piercing sibilance in it. So that's what makes this a very divisive headphone. I think the tonality it's warm, but it's too warm, and also it has that brightness, harshness, and sibilance at the same time. And yeah, it's also very hard to drive. The bass is not that great. It sounds like the bass is very warbly, and it sounds like it's underwater sometimes. So honestly, the only saving grace of this headphone is that the sound stage is okay. I mean, it's a semi open back. It's got an okay soundstage. So it's got some depth to it, and the mids sound very warm and organic. That's the only good things I can say, because everything else about this headphone, the highs can be very harsh and fatiguing and sibilant, and the bass, yeah, it's not very good quality bass either. So it's overall it's tuned in a way that's I think very divisive to a lot of people. So that's just something I gotta mention about the T1s. As I test more and more headphones, I realize why it's so why it's such a divisive headphone. Definitely not for everyone. So yeah, and it's even more so with the third generation. This is the second generation, which is probably the best out of the T1s. But if you go to the third generation, that's an even more polarizing divisive headphone. But yeah, this one I definitely understand is not for everyone. So yeah, for $450, I wouldn't pay full price for them, but for the money I paid for them, they're a really nice buy. Actually, I got them for like over 50% off. Okay. Next up is the Hifiman Arya Stealth, and actually I switched out the cables for a pair of balanced cables with a 4.4 millimeter connector, because these actually need a lot more power to drive, and that's why I need to use the balanced connection. So don't be fooled by the 32 ohm impedance. That doesn't tell you how much power you actually need. You need to have a lot of power to drive these. So about the same amount of power as the Beyerdynamics actually. So yeah, don't be fooled by the 32 ohms. These planers are actually hard to drive. So yeah, I'm going to test out this Arya Stealth. Oh yeah, just for the comfort level, by the way, the Beyerdynamic T1s are very comfortable. Like I said, I love Beyerdynamic headphones for their comfort. I could wear these like all day. I could wear these on the bed. I could sleep with these on. Like, Beyerdynamic headphones are very comfortable. Hifiman's, on the other hand, as soon as I put these on, yeah, it's it's not as comfortable for sure. These are not comfortable headphones, and Hifiman did not make these for comfort. I mean, they're not like uncomfortable. Like some of the Audeze headphones I've tried and some of the Grado headphones I've tried were actually uncomfortable. So that actually like hurt my head and stuff. These aren't uncomfortable. They're just not like, they're not comfortable either. They're just okay, you know? They're definitely not as comfortable as the Beyers, and I don't think they're as comfortable as the Focals or Mezes either. They're just okay. You can have them on your head, and yeah, but I wouldn't have them on for like too long or whatever. Anyways, let's check out the Hifiman Arya Stealth. High hopes for these, because these are actually pretty expensive headphones originally. Alright. Whoa. Alright. So the Hifiman Arya Stealth, really nice headphones in terms of the sound, right? Yeah, these are probably the best headphones I've listened to yet. The soundstage is massive on these headphones. Like, the only headphone I've listened to that has bigger soundstage than this is probably some of the electrostatics I've tried when I was in Japan, like the Stax X9000 in the Dan Clark Arenas, and the Sennheiser HD800S, which is well known for its big soundstage. So that's pretty much it. Like, the soundstage on these headphones are huge. It's amazing. Like, the sound just comes from all around you, right, when you put these on. And you guys may have heard a lot more sound leakage from this one, because this is like fully open back pair of headphones, whereas the Beyerdynamics are almost like a semi open back. So these do leak, they leak sound, but they don't leak as much. These ones definitely leak more, and I think that contributes to the incredibly wide soundstage that I'm experiencing. They do leak a lot, but you get like a massive soundstage as a result, maybe. And yeah, the tuning is very good. It's a neutral, balanced-ish tuning, but not too flat. Not like some Focals. I find some Focals are almost too neutral, to the point where it feels like clinical and analytical, I guess. But not these Stealths. These Hifiman Aryas. Yeah, it's definitely on the side of neutral. But it's not like completely flat or anything either. Like, there's a decent amount of bass. The mids are nice. They're not like recessed or pushed up too much. The trebles are also there as well. So everything's just kind of balanced. And everything's very detailed. So everything's very detailed, very balanced. There's a lot of soundstage. So at this point, I think in terms of the actual just sound quality, right? The Hifiman Arya Stealths are probably the best headphones I own basically right now. I mean, I've heard headphones that have better detail, like the Focal Utopia 2022s have better detail, especially in the mids. I've heard headphones that have larger soundstage, like the Sennheiser HD800s. I've heard headphones like the Hifiman Arya's. They're very, very top end ones that have better highs. But yeah, in terms of just this price range, like you can get this under $1,000. I got this for $600, right? You can get this for under $1,000 if you buy it like maybe just refurbished or secondhand or whatever. This is probably the best headphone you can buy under $1,000. Like even the Sennheiser HD800s don't really come under $1,000, right? So these so far are the best headphones I've heard that I bought for under $1,000. They're amazing. Soundstage is crazy big. Everything's very balanced and detailed. Yeah, I mean, there are better headphones, but you'll probably have to pay much more money than this in order to get that. So, props to Hifiman. The presentation, the appearance, and the comfort of these headphones are not up to par as with some of the other headphones that I have. But just talking about sound quality, strictly focusing on the sound quality, which is I think what Hifiman prioritizes the most. Yeah, this wins. These are the best sounding headphones I have right now. And I got it for $600. I got it for $650 actually. So yeah, for that price, it can't be beat, man. Yeah, I wish it came with a case though. It doesn't come with a case like the other ones. Come on, Hifiman. If only you gave us like a little bit more stuff. You spent all your R&D on the sound quality, but you don't give us anything else. The appearance, you know, the case, the extras. Hifiman doesn't give you any of that. Just they put all their budget into just the sound quality. That was it. Okay. I guess you can say that for Stax as well, right? Stax is another brand that's basically all about the sound quality, and the appearance just, you know, doesn't look that great, but it's all about sound quality for them. Alright, so the Meze 109 Pros, do they sound as good as they look? Let's find out. These are definitely the best looking headphones among this group, by far, actually, in my opinion. I mean, just beautiful looking headphones. But yeah, do they sound as good as they look? That is the question. And I've always wanted to try Meze's because I've always been interested. I mean, just the appearance and everything, you know, obviously very attractive headphones. And they do get some good reviews, so I was always curious to try them. And they're very comfortable too. I mean, just trying this on versus the Beyers. I think these are actually as comfortable as the Beyers, which is impressive. Yeah, I mean, maybe the clamping force is a little bit tighter on the Meze's, but it's almost as comfortable as the Beyers, so that's impressive. This is one of the most comfortable headphones. Very, very comfortable, so I could wear this for hours and be fine with it. Alright, so I'm using the single-ended for this one because it's not high impedance and it's not planar magnetic. Let's see, let's check out some packs here. Okay, it's interesting. So these Meze 109 Pros, first of all, they're very comfortable to wear, just as comfortable as my Beyers, I think. So they're one of the most comfortable headphones I've worn so far. The sound signature is very laid back. It's not like it's not aggressive. It's not exciting. It's just kind of a laid back, mellow type of sound signature. I mean, it's got a decent amount of bass and mids, and I think it has a slight treble push, like a slight high-end push, but not by much. So overall, it's a very like laid-back sounding pair of headphones. It's got a decent amount of detail to them. I don't think they're as detailed as the Hifimans or the Beyers, but it's decent, just not as much as these two in terms of detail and resolution. But yeah, just overall, the feeling I get from these headphones is the actual sound signature itself is fairly like balanced, I would say, in terms of decent amount of bass and decent amount of like mids and treble. It's just everything is very laid back sounding, very mellow. So it's not like a pair of headphones you would wear to bop to, right? So it's not like that kind of exciting type of sound signature. It's more like you can kind of relax with these headphones. You just like put them on, you listen to some chill hop, and you sit back and you relax, or you work, or you do something that's so you can. For me, I actually listen to music when I work, so it helps me concentrate. So these are the type of headphones you can just put on. It's very comfortable, and I can wear it for hours, and I just listen to some very mellow, chill music, right? Some chill hop or something like that, and you know, just like do some work or something like that. I think this is the type of headphones I would do that in, because they're very laid back, very polite sounding actually, not aggressive or anything. So not dynamic, not exciting, just very mellow. So, anyways, that's my impressions of this headphone. They're not bad headphones at all, right? They're just a different sound signature, like a different tuning, compared to these ones. This is overall, yeah, overall, like, it has a decent amount of bass, mids, and treble. It's just a laid back type of signature. So that's how the type of impression I get from it. It's just, these are the type of headphones you would just fall asleep, you know, in your bed to listening to music in. It's not something that's even on the electronic tracks and stuff like K-pop or something. They have a lot of beats. It just doesn't sound as exciting on these other headphones. But you know, I think that's kind of the unique thing about this headphone. Actually, that actually kind of makes it unique. So if you're looking for a headphone that's kind of has like a mellow, laid-back sound signature, something you can relax to, this is a nice headphone for it. And of course, it looks amazing, right? Looks amazing, it's very comfortable, it has a very relaxed tuning, so it's cool. Alright, so yeah, that's the Meze 109 Pros. I wish it had more detail though. It doesn't have the most detail, that's the thing. It's not veiled either. Like, it's definitely more detailed than something like the Sennheiser HD650s, but it doesn't have as much detail as the... It won't have as much detail as the Focals either. And it doesn't have as much detail as the Hifiman Arya. Alright, let's try Focal clears now. These ones should be heavy hitters, right? Well, I'm going to expect... I'm coming here with an expectation of a neutral sound signature. I should probably erase that just to be more... give more of an unbiased perspective. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, we're going to need the 6.35 or the 1/4 inch jack for this. Again, this doesn't need too much power to drive, so I'll just use single-ended for this. And this is just standard 3.5 connectors. The Focal headphones, they always have a very similar design, so I'm kind of used to what Focal headphones are like. They're not the most comfortable headphones. They're not uncomfortable either. They're just, I think they're more comfortable than the Hifimans for sure. The Hifimans, not that comfortable. I mean, it's okay. It's just not as comfortable as the Mezes and the Beyers. Yeah, it's just alright. Alright. These require a little bit more power compared to the Mezes. I think the Mezes were the easiest to drive out of these. Alright, so the Focal Clear MGs. I mean, I like them better than most Focal headphones, I would say, because these ones are not quite as neutral as other Focal headphones. Like most Focal headphones I find, like especially I'm talking about the Elex, is my experience. The Elex is almost like too neutral, where it sounded a little bit too sterile for me, too analytical. The Focal Clears are also definitely more on the neutral side, but these ones are a little bit more fun too, because the bass gets pushed up a little bit more on these MGs. Now I can't say too much about the OGs because I didn't really try the OGs, but for the MGs, yeah, the bass is pushed up a little bit, which adds a little bit more dynamics to it. So they're definitely more fun than the Elexes. They're just as detailed as the Elexes. And that makes sense because the Elexes were actually derived from the Clears. So yeah, the detail on these is really good. I mean, that's what you expect from Focals. I think most Focal headphones are known for their detail. Yeah, so bass is pushed up a bit, but it's still tasteful. Mids are nice, highs are nice, not pushed up too much or not too recessed. Soundstage could be better, just okay. They don't have like a large soundstage or anything. Yeah, overall, it's a headphone that most people would like, I think. So most people like the clear OG headphones because I think they're basically like this signature, but they didn't have this bass push. This one has a little bit of a bass push compared to the OGs. So this one is a little bit more fun, I guess, for some people, because if you listen to you know, electronic music or dance music, you might think that these headphones are a little bit more fun than the OGs. Yeah, I would say it's like probably Focal didn't want to offend too many people, so with the MGs, which actually replaced the OGs, they didn't want to change the tuning too much. So they added just a little bit more bass, so it's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fun, a little bit more exciting. I guess compared to the traditional audiophile, they would not like it, but yeah, it's not like they added too much or anything. So yeah, I would say overall, this is a headphone that most people would like. Whether you're an audiophile or not, you're gonna find something to like about the Clear MGs, because audiophiles will like the fact that it's close to neutral tuning, so it's pretty reference, and non-audiophiles will like the kind of bass push that it adds, so it adds a little bit more excitement and energy. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Overall, oh, it's tough, right? Which headphone do I like the best out of these? I think in terms of the pure sound quality, it's still the Hifiman Aryas. I mean, the sound quality of this, the details are like the Focals, but it's got a massive soundstage in addition to that. So the Focals just don't have that soundstage. So yeah, in terms of the overall sound quality, I'm gonna have to give it to the Hifimans. Hifiman Aryas has a huge soundstage. It's just as detailed as the Focal Clears. It's reasonably tuned, close to neutral. Because it's got balance tuning, but it's not boring either. I mean, some headphones, they're tuned too close to neutral, they get too dull, like the Focal Elexes. But these ones pretty fun too. They got like the Focal MGs, they got decent amount of bass, so it's pretty exciting. Some people think that if you tune the headphones too close to neutral, like with the HD800 or with the Focal Elex, if you don't add enough bass, it can sound a little bit dull. But thankfully with the Arya and the Focal Clear MGs, they do add some bass, so it's not too dull, but it's still reasonably close to neutral. So yeah, overall balanced. It's the very balanced sounding pair of headphones with a very massive soundstage and a lot of detail. So overall with sound quality, I'm gonna have to give it to the Hifiman Arya Stealth. Now in terms of comfort, is a different story. The Hifimans are the least comfortable. The Meze 109 Pros and the Beyerdynamic T1s are definitely the most comfortable out of this group to wear for long periods of time. So if you're thinking about getting headphones for music listening for a long time or playing games with for a while, then don't go for the Hifimans. These are not for playing games. These are like for critical listening. Like you're sitting in a chair, you're just listening to music, then yeah, and I would say like if you're like focusing on work or doing something else, don't go for these headphones. These are just for listening to music. They're not comfortable to wear for long periods of time. Meze 109 Pros I think would be better for gaming. And then if you have, I guess, the headphone amp to drive these would be good too. But I think the Mezes are actually pretty nice for, yeah, if you just want to like listen to a pair of headphones for relaxing or working or something like that, the Meze 109 Pros are nice for that because they had a really mellow, laid-back sound signature. And it's very comfortable to wear. In terms of appearance, it's obviously the Meze 109 Pros as well. I mean, it's beautiful looking, right, dark walnut wood ear cups. Looks so classy and so luxury looking. So in terms of appearance, in terms of comfort and just a headphone to relax with, then the Meze 109 Pros are nice. Probably if I were to choose one for gaming, it would also be the Meze 109 Pros. Just because I can wear it for a long period of time. It's not hard to drive or anything. And yeah, in terms of soundstage, obviously the Hifimans. In terms of detail, the Focal Clears and the Hifimans, it's a tie between those two. And then in terms of, yeah, just, okay, let's go over the different frequencies, right? So for highs, I think for me, probably the Hifimans still for highs. And mids, the Beyerdynamics. I really like the mids on the Beyerdynamics. I think these have the best mids. For low end, interesting. I think that yeah, the Focals and the Hifimans have tasteful lows, and the Beyerdynamics do as well. I think all three of these have pretty nice low end. So yeah, I guess you could say in terms of overall sound quality, yeah, Hifiman definitely wins. But it really depends what you're going to use a headphone for. Yeah, so the Meze 109 Pros, like I said, if you're looking for a very comfortable pair of headphones that's decent amount of detail, I mean not the best or anything, and it's unlikely to offend anyone with its sound signature. I think this sound signature is good for most people. It's nothing's ever pushed up or recessed on this one, so most people will like the sound signature. It's very comfortable to wear and very laid back and mellow, so it's a very inoffensive headphone. So I think this is good enough for most people. So I think it depends on what type of headphone that you're looking for. If you're looking for purely the best sound, then the Hifiman Arya Stealth for sure has the best sound out of all these. It has the biggest soundstage, reasonably balanced neutral-ish tuning, and just good detail retrieval across the board. So yeah, if you just care about sound, then Hifiman Arya Stealth for sure. In terms of if you listen to a lot of vocal tracks, or if you care about detailed mids, then the Beyerdynamics are nice. They're also really comfortable to wear, and they have a warm sound signature. So if you want warm sound signature, or you listen to music with a lot of mids, like vocal tracks or something like that, the Beyerdynamics are nice. So these two are kind of more specialized headphones, I guess, in the sense of what you're looking for. The Meze 109 Pros and the Focal Clears are a little bit more all-around headphones. Like both of these are pretty inoffensive in the sound signature. It's just that the 109 Pros, they obviously look the best. They're also more comfortable. They're much more mellow and relaxed. So if you're listening to a pair of headphones for light gaming or for work, I think these are probably the ones to pick up. So yeah, they're just not as much detail as the rest, but in terms of just overall, in general, I think the sound signature is good enough for most people. Most people will actually like the sound from these. Yeah, just laid back, relaxed type of sound signature, and it looks, amazing. So I think the Meze 109 Pros are pretty nice for a lot of people. But then if you want a more reference type of sound, then the Focal Clear is probably the way to go. Also kind of an inoffensive sound signature because it's pretty balanced, close to neutral, but also it's a little bit fun too because it has a slight bass push. So yeah, the Focal Clears I think is also good enough for most people. It's just a more audio, probably more audiophile compared to the Mezes. I think the Mezes is like maybe better for mainstream, like more mainstream type listeners, but then the Focal is more like audiophile-ish, I guess. It's definitely more detailed than the Mezes, and the tuning is definitely more closer to neutral, but still pretty nice pair of headphones. Yeah, I would say that this one is just good for all around, right? If you're just looking for a pair of nice headphones that's very detailed, then this would satisfy you. So that's it. It doesn't really like specialize in anything, but it's just a good general purpose all around pair of reference quality headphones. So that's it, guys. That's my comparison of all these four headphones. I'm going to do a sound test after this, and then you guys can tell me which one you prefer out of all these four. So I just want to make a comment about these two headphones. So the Focal Clear Professionals and the Meze 109 Pros. So it depends on what source you're listening to. So it depends if you're listening to like a low quality stream, or you're listening to a low quality MP3 file, then the Meze 109 Pros are actually going to be more forgiving and make those recordings sound not as bad as they actually are. So yeah, if you listen to basically low quality files, then the Meze 109 Pros will kind of cover up some of those deficiencies, because these are very forgiving headphones. They're detailed, but they're on the warm side, so it really does cover up some of the bad recordings or anything like that. It will actually make them sound better. Whereas the Focal Clear Professionals, these ones and the Hifimans are both very revealing headphones, but the Clears especially, very detailed and very revealing. So if you have a bad quality recording, then this will definitely show those deficiencies basically. But if you have a really good quality recording, like DSD or FLAC or something, the source material was recorded really well, then you can definitely hear that more so on the Clear Professional. So I just want to mention that depends on what source material you're listening to. If you're listening to like a lot of low quality streams or files, then the Meze 109 Pros will actually make them sound better. And if you're looking for very high quality source material, then the Clears will actually bring out the best of that. So yeah, this one's very revealing and this one's very forgiving. And I would say the Meze is a bit on the warm side, not as much as the Beyers. But I think these headphones, the Mezes and the Beyers, are probably more relaxing to listen to, more of an enjoyable listen. Whereas the Clears and the Hifimans, definitely more of a critical listen, where you're paying more attention to the music because they are more revealing. So yeah, very different headphones in terms of what they present and what they bring to the table. Just want to make that comment about the two, maybe help you guys decide, right? Do you want something that's more relaxing, enjoyable to listen to, then the Mezes and the Beyers are both great. But if you want something, for critical listening, something that will bring out all the details of small, all the the individual harmonics and the small details of each track, then the Focals and the Hifimans are the ones to do that. So yeah, if you want like a more enjoyable, relaxing listen, then the Meze 109 Pros and the Beyer T1s, they're pretty good for that because they're more forgiving and they have a more warm sound signature. But the Focals and the Hifimans, both of these are meant more for critical listening. So if you want to listen to all the micro details of each track, then these ones will bring it out, for good or bad, basically. So yeah, really depends on what you want to do. This one, the Clear and the Hifiman, is definitely more so if you just want to pay attention to the music, whereas the Mezes and the Beyers, I would say, are more for if you just want the music to be in the background and you want to do like kind of something else and just have something relaxing playing. So anyways, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. I think actually out of these, I might choose the Hifiman Arya Stealth and the Beyerdynamic T1 if I wanted to do like more critical listening. And for just listening, casual listening, I guess, or just like listening when I'm playing games or working or stuff, something where I don't have to concentrate on the music, then the Focal Clears or the Meze 109 Pros would both be good for me. So, for everyday listening type of thing. So I think that's how I would choose them. They all have their own niche, right? Certainly the Focal Clears and the Hifimans are the most expensive, but if I had to choose, yeah, probably these two for more critical listening where I'm paying attention to the music. These ones where the music is just kind of more in the background. So anyways, that's just how I would go about it. Anyways, stay tuned for the sound comparison test.
fun. I mean, but it's a bit more generic sound.
Yep.
Yeah, you
That's
know,
what I felt as
like
well.
the bass is a little bit more overblown a little bit, and it bleeds into the mids. So the mids sound a little bit kind of like the bass is just bleeding into the mids, you know. And then yeah, as a result, so because of that, it doesn't sound quite as crisp. Yeah, but for what it is, it's fun. Right?
Yeah, I felt like that too. Like this one just sounded okay.
Yeah, like the thing is, if you like this, there's plenty of headphones that sound like this. That's the thing. So,
yeah, so it's like more of a laid back type of thing.
That and yeah, just a bit of the bloated bass, and yeah, not bad.
Try these Focal. These are the Clear Professionals.
Clear professionals.
Yeah, and this was $1,500.
Can the phone run this?
You might have to turn it up a little bit more, but try it.
These actually drive really easily.
Yep. Yep. They're
easier to drive than the Romanian ones.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, these don't need too much power to drive.
These ones, the treble is a little bit toned down a little bit. Soundstage isn't really that big for this one.
No, it's not as big.
Yeah, especially for open backs, it's not that big.
Focals, I never had really big soundstage, I noticed.
See,
yeah.
The mids are pretty intimate, but soundstage isn't that big. It's not that bad. I think I like these better than that one a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like double the price. Yeah.
They're pretty good. I mean, soundstage isn't very big for an open back.
Yep.
The upper treble is kind of rolled off, but the lower treble is pretty prominent. The bass, and it's a little bit warm. It's a pretty warm sounding open back headphone.
Yep.
The mids are kind of intimate, also kind of a little bit thick, probably because there was a little bit bleeding from the upper bass. Yeah, and the bass is a little bit elevated. Yep. The upper bass is a little bit elevated, upper mid bass. Overall, for what it is, it's also a generic sound, but done quite well.
Yep.
Yeah.
What I noticed about Focals, like even their high end, because I tested the Utopias as well. They usually have very like detailed mids, like the mids are very detailed, and the soundstage is not that big, but they focus more on intimacy, and it's a reasonably balanced sound. It's like it's like not not too
nice. Yeah, I like it. They're nice. The vocals are actually fun, kind of in like a warm romantic sort of way, especially those mids are pretty intimate, which I find is pretty fun. And I find although they wrote off the higher frequency treble parts, but then whatever trebles that they have in there is still pretty prominent, just enough to help anchor some of the sound. Can I check out the vocals one more time?
Yeah.
These are very easy to drive. Maybe this is the easiest to drive out of all these so far.
Oh, more than the Audio Technicas?
Yep, even it's easier than that one.
Okay.
That one I actually bump it up quite a bit, like the second down. And then this one's actually not bad. I'm only at like 34, 35. Yeah, this is not bad.
Yep.
It's pretty fun. Just soundstage isn't the biggest for something that's open back.
Yeah, Focals never focused on soundstage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. One of these days, maybe if you're okay, maybe I'll try and borrow either one of the Focal or these one of these days to compare to my HD800s, like side by side. I'm actually pretty
The Hifiman is maybe a good comparison because I tried to compare the soundstage between your HD800s and the Hifimans.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Yeah, which one's better?
Yeah,
both of them actually. The Focals and this one, I'm curious. Like compared to HD800s, because the reason why the Focals will be interesting too, the Focal sound is completely different from the HD800s. That's more of a romantic sound without much soundstage. It's a warm romantic sound without much soundstage. But sometimes it's fun just to use that, listen to that type of sound sometimes. Whereas and that's really easy to drive. It comes straight up from my phone, no problem. At 35, it's like plenty loud. So that's actually a unique headphone too, if you're okay with that type of sound. Whereas this one is, the soundstage is good. So it's actually kind of curious too to see how this compares to the HD800s. That'd be interesting.
Well, the Hifimans I think would sound closer to HD800s than the Focals. Yeah. Focals are just totally different.
And that's what I mean. It's a totally different sound, which is interesting too, because sometimes it's just a different, change of taste.
Yeah. It's good to have two different sounds.
Exactly. And then, so both of these will be interesting side-by-side comparisons. Do you still have the file, the dongle?
I do. I just can't find it right now.
Okay. I want to see if how the Hifiman runs through that dongle.
No.
Okay.
Try these ones because I think the soundstage for these are the biggest I've heard.
Sure.
Aside from the HD800s, so.
And that I have to run it through the app then?
You do have to end on this one.
Sure.
Because these ones are hard to drive.
Okay. Give me a sec. I'm just gonna...
They're not the most comfortable though, but I think sound quality wise, I think these might be my favorites.
I'm also questioning the build quality.
Yeah, Hifiman's not known for this, but for the sound quality itself, just that, I think I like this one the best.
Looks like it's gonna like break anytime. Give me a sec.
Yeah, for them, I'm pretty sure they put all their R&D into just the sound, not really the design as much.
But at least make it so it doesn't feel like it's gonna break, you know. Pretty good.
Pretty good, right? The soundstage is pretty good, right?
Soundstage is pretty good. I think the bass might be lacking a little bit in terms of shape. There's not much shape in the bass, or maybe the bass is just or maybe just the bass is just not that prominent. Just missing a bit in the shape in the bass. Yeah.
You mean like you need to be pushed up a bit?
Maybe just like sometimes that you don't really hear like the bass a little bit. It's kind of like there, like there's a bass presence, but then I don't hear like that beat of the bass. So which is
it doesn't have the slam, right? It doesn't have slam.
Maybe it doesn't have that shape in that bass, that sound. The treble is pretty prominent. The mids are pretty nice. It does have a sound stage. I think the sound stage is more vertical than it is horizontal, but it does have some horizontal sound stage too. Overall, not bad. I think I wish the bass just had a bit more shape to it.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't much character in the bass, but overall, it's a pretty good headphone. I mean, I think in terms of just pure sound quality, this might be the best.
That's why I thought so.
Yeah, out of all these headphones.
Yep.
Yeah, pure sound quality, I think these are the best.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't like the design, but like it's not that comfortable. But it is like in terms of just pure sound quality.
Yeah.
I think these are my favorites.
I think so. I think these are all around the best. Because it has more sound stage than the Focals, obviously. But then at the same time, the Focals mids are more intimate than this one, but this one the mids are still pretty good too.
Yep.
In terms of treble, these trebles are more in your face than the Focals. The Focals upper treble is rolled off a bit, but then the lower treble is still pretty prominent in the Focals. But this one just overall the treble is all there. Okay. Focals have a bit more upper mid bass in the Focals. This one is lacking bass shape though. That's the trade-off. Do you want a bit more bass shape in the Focals or more sound stage in these ones? And the slightly more intimate mids of there, but then the more better treble this one. That's what it would come down to between these and the Focals.
I think the soundstage difference is bigger than the difference in the mids.
That depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Because those it's not just the mids too, because the Focals have a bit more bass as well. Especially in the upper mid bass, which makes it more warm and intimate. Yep. So the Focals have a warm, intimate sound. This one's actually a bit more linear. But then the treble, the slightly lack of shape in the bass makes this not like a very like warm, intimate sound. However, the mids and the mids are nice and full though.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty decently full. So it just depends on what you're looking for. A bit more the warm because of the mids, and then also a bit warm of the bass, the upper bass with a little bit of the treble, the nice trebles, intimacy, versus this one, the better sound stage, the better treble.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you like this one and the Focals the best, that corresponds to the price because these two are the most expensive.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So they're originally both 1,500, brand new. And yeah, these ones I got used for 650.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. Yeah. Like in my case, like thing is because like with these ones, I don't know. Like it'll be interesting to do an A/B directly with this and my HD800 sometime, just to see which one's actually better.
Yeah. I actually think the soundstage, aside from the HD800s, I think these are probably the biggest I've heard, at least out of the ones here for sure. So. Yeah.
And you haven't heard the regular HD800s because that one the soundstage is even bigger than the S.
No, that one's hard to find though.
Yeah.
They don't sell anymore. So.
Yeah. Because the S is not really an upgrade. It's more. It's just a different sound. It's just a different sound.
But then overall, I tried the stacks and stuff, like the really high end stuff.
Yeah.
And the soundstage on those are huge, right? So, yeah. Then, that's like $5,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. These ones are not bad.
So yeah, hard choice. I'm probably leaning towards this one for the open back, and the closed back is pretty hard. It's because it's so different. The Audio Technicas and Dan Clarksons are so different. So
yeah, it's tough, man.
Yeah, that's so different. Yeah, the thing about the Focals though, I feel like the Hifiman is like more dynamic. It's a little bit more dynamic to listen to.
The Hifiman.
Yeah. more dynamic to listen to.
Yeah, of course, it's more dynamic. I mean, it's got more treble and everything. But then, of course, there's a bit more bass in the vocals. And it depends on what you're looking for. Do you want more bass? Do you want more upper mid bass, or do you want more treble? Do you want more soundstage? Or do you want the slightly more intimate mids? Like the mids aren't exactly the mids are more intimate on that, but the mids here are actually pretty solid.
I think it's only intimate because the soundstage is not that big.
Could be.
So it sounds more intimate because of it's a more closed soundstage. So
that and just the mids are nice. The mids are nice.
Because if I don't have the Fostex anymore, but you remember how the Fostex had pretty detailed mids too, and I think part of that was because the soundstage wasn't that big.
Definitely. But at the same time, just the mids are nice. The mids are nice in that one. This one, the mids are solid too. They're actually quite solid. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, as we're closed back, what are you leaning to?
I don't know. That's really a toss up for me.
Yeah.
Because the open back I'm leaning for is Hifiman. Just like I love the soundstage on Hifiman.
Yeah.
But the closed back, I'm really not sure. Maybe this one sounds more balanced because the Audio Technicas is so treble forward.
Yeah.
But like if I just wanted to have something general music, I think maybe this might be better with general music. But then the Audio Technica's treble is so good. So I mean I love the clarity on that one. So yeah.
Yeah, but I just like after the second listen, I felt like let me try again. But I feel like after the second listen, I feel like these mids, there's just sound in general for this one. It's just a little bit more lean, a little bit too lean in my opinion. The mids, everything's a little bit.
I didn't think much of the bass for the mids. Yeah. I mean they're there. But it's just this one has so much clarity that kind of pushes it.
Yep.
So
much clarity, but a little bit too high pitched, like in the mids and everything. But let's see here.
Yeah, and the soundstage is pretty good for that one.
Yep, soundstage is solid for this one.
For a closed back, that's pretty impressive.
I'm kind of curious.
And also the Beyers, if you want to try that. But I remember you don't really like these ones so much.
Okay, try them again. These are closed, or are they open?
They're semi-open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Easy to drive from at home?
These are 600 ohms.
Oh, okay.
So you need to use these.
All right.
This one, I remember you saying it's like warm, and it is warm, so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them, they're horrible.
They're too warm?
Too warm, and also like everything sounds like it's underwater a little bit. The treble sounds like it's underwater because it's recessed and just like veiled, the treble. And then the mids are like completely bleeding in from the bass. That's why it sounds so damn warm. But then the thing is, even then, the bass doesn't even seem to have much charm in the bass because the bass doesn't have much shape either. But it's just this low end that's like bleeding everywhere, which is why it's so warm. But you don't get the benefit of having like a bass that hits either, because the bass doesn't really hit. But then it's just this lower frequency is bleeding into everything. Yeah, and then the mids suffer as a result. And then the treble sounds like it's recessed underwater, like veiled. So it's just this big warm clump of thing.
I remember you didn't like these ones.
It's like a big warm clump of thing with no dynamics on either end. So, yeah.